Okay, so here's something to think about. What happens when you mix a haunted Irish hotel, a deeply antisocial author, and a dash of folklore? You get Hokum, a supernatural horror film that's as much about psychological tension as it is about things that go bump in the night.
That's such a great way to frame it because this movie isn't just about jump scares or gore. It's about atmosphere, isolation, and the way personal demons can be just as terrifying as the supernatural. Ohm Bauman, the main character, is such a fascinating lens through which to explore all of that.
He really is. Played by Adam Scott, Ohm is this gruff, humorless author who's come to Ireland to scatter his parents' ashes and finish writing his book. But from the moment he arrives at this remote hotel, you can tell something's off. The staff recognize his name, the honeymoon suite is mysteriously locked, and there's this constant sense of unease.
And then there's Jerry, played by David Wilmot. He's this scruffy, bearded guy who shows up in the woods offering Ohm drinks and magic mushrooms. I mean, that's a red flag if I've ever seen one. But what's so interesting is that Jerry isn't overtly threatening. He's just unsettling.
Exactly. He's one of those characters where you're constantly questioning his motives. Is he just a quirky local, or is there something more sinister going on? And that ambiguity is part of what makes the movie so compelling. You're never quite sure who or what you can trust.
And then there's Fiona, one of the hotel employees, played by Florence Ordes. She's such an interesting counterpoint to Ohm. Where he's closed off and dismissive, she's warm and approachable. But even she has her quirks, like pulling out a picture book about how to combat witches. That scene was so unexpected.
It really was. She's explaining this Irish folklore about drawing a white chalk circle around yourself to protect against witches, and you can just see Ohm rolling his eyes. He's so dismissive of it. But as the story unfolds, you start to wonder if maybe Fiona knows more than she's letting on.
That's what I love about this movie. It keeps you guessing. It's not just a straightforward horror story. There are all these layers of mystery and folklore. You've got the haunted hotel, the strange locals, Ohm's own personal demons. It's all interconnected in this really intriguing way.
And speaking of the hotel, let's talk about the setting. This remote hotel in Ireland is practically a character in itself. It's eerie, it's atmospheric, and it's the perfect backdrop for a story like this. You've got these long, empty hallways, dim lighting, and this overwhelming sense of isolation. It's unsettling in the best way.
Oh, for sure. And the way the film uses sound and music is brilliant. There are these creaks, sudden loud noises, and other unsettling sounds that keep you on edge. It's not about gore or over-the-top scares. It's about building this sense of dread that stays with you.
And then there's the Halloween celebration at the hotel, which is when things really start to escalate. Ohm has no intention of participating. But of course, that's the night when everything takes a darker turn. It's like the movie is saying, you can try to ignore the supernatural, but it's not going to ignore you.
Exactly. And I love how the movie plays with the idea of belief. Ohm is this rational, no-nonsense guy who doesn't believe in any of the folklore or ghost stories. But as the film goes on, he's forced to confront things that defy explanation. It's a fascinating journey to watch.
And the way Damien McCarthy, the writer and director, handles the story is so impressive. The screenplay feels like a fractured fairy tale. It's dark, it's twisted, and it's deeply unsettling. But it's also incredibly well crafted. Every detail feels intentional, from the dialogue to the pacing to the way the scares are executed.
Oh, absolutely. McCarthy knows how to create tension and sustain it. There are moments where you're just holding your breath, waiting for something to happen. And when it does, it's not always what you expect. That unpredictability is part of what makes the movie so effective.
And let's talk about the visuals for a second. The cinematography is stunning. The way the film uses light and shadow is just masterful. There are scenes where you can barely see what's happening, but that only makes it more terrifying. Your imagination fills in the gaps, and that's so much scarier than anything they could show you outright.
Oh, definitely. And the performances really elevate the material. Adam Scott, David Wilmot, Florence Ordes. They all bring something unique to their roles. Even when the story gets fantastical, their performances keep it grounded. You believe in these characters and their struggles, which makes the horror feel that much more real.
So, the big question. Should people see this movie? For me, it's a resounding yes. If you're a fan of psychological horror, folklore, or just well-crafted storytelling, this is a must-watch. It's not for the faint of heart, but if you're willing to embrace the darkness, it's an unforgettable experience.
I completely agree. Hokum isn't just a horror movie. It's an experience. It's the kind of film that stays with you long after the credits roll. If you're looking for something that's scary, thought-provoking, and beautifully made, this is it. Just maybe don't watch it alone.
Or in a remote hotel in Ireland.
Definitely not. And a score? I'm giving it 8 out of 10.
You've been listening to Movies First.
Available at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or your favourite podcast player. You can also stream on demand at Bytes.com.
This has been another quality podcast production from Frights.com.